Okay, hey everybody. This is Grace, and on my way to get something for lunch. It's quite a bit late, but as usual these days. Okay, anyway, I thought there was a kid, but nope. Anyway, I don't put kids in my videos. But there was something I have been wanting to talk about, and it's kind of one of the, really, some people just say it, but it can, some people, they might not feel like there's any hope left for them. And, some people, they just speak on it as a matter of fact, but it's not like it's a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Like when I was young, people who were, some way, shape, form, or fashion, they were abusive. When they're young, they might not realize what they're saying and how they're saying it. They may have grown up in a family where the parents were abusive and they thought that was the norm. That's how people just talk to one another, like yelling or something like that. Okay, some might not realize that the way to get your way on something is not to yell at the other person, to see whose voice gets louder, can be louder, or the more threatening, because a loud voice, aggressive voice, and some people might feel intimidated. Some people think that's how you win. Unfortunately, these days, it's like a big part of the population, it seems. The more they yell, the more they say something that's abusive over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? They think that's the way you win. They never learned anything other than that. But anyway, to jump to another part. Now, just because somebody does something like that, some people used to call them narcissistic fleas. It's what you pick up from narcissists in your life, and anyway. But they don't usually know what they're doing is wrong. Some people, you can tell them what you're doing is wrong, and they'll see it and they'll correct it because they don't have the personality disorder. Okay, I do not know why there is so much traffic here. My goodness. Yeah, really. And I'm not that close. It's kind of zoomed in. So, anyway. Now to jump to some other part. Yet again, but, just because a person has some bad behaviors, like I said, that doesn't mean that they have a personality disorder. It doesn't mean they're narcissists. A lot of people, if they do, have more than just a little. Being a person, diagnosing somebody is a little bit of error, not even a little bit on some, is not anybody's, position. That stuff in the back of my car, moving around still, my SUV. But it's not anybody's job except for whose job it actually is. Whatever it is where you live, whether it's a counselor or a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a therapist, whatever it is, legally, like they have to have a license or a certification or whatever where you live. That's the ones who can actually diagnose legally. Okay. But I know that many of us put it in our head, this person has all those behaviors, and some know that sometimes these will never go to have themselves diagnosed or anything. They don't believe that they're the problem. They believe you are the problem. Okay. Anyway, so there's that. Yeah, there's just too much traffic. I need to pay attention. Okay, lots of traffic today. Wow. It's the first beautiful, beautiful Saturday we've had in a while. Seriously, in a while. That's the weirdest one I've ever seen. But anyway, it's very beautiful today. It's December 14th. Yeah, we haven't had one. Every weekend it would rain for, I don't know Okay, I just got up here, and let me tell you, their speaker is so loud. There's some dad and his son sitting out in front of me, and the dad actually kind of jumped, and my ear feel like I was at the end of it. I said, oh, my ear's busted now. Boy, it was loud. And I told the guy, I said, you're really loud. Oh, I'm sorry. And he kept interrupting me. Every time I'd say something, I said, I want a, and he'd interrupt me. And I would say, will you let me finish? Because I couldn't finish my order because he kept talking over me. And it's very, very loud. Oh my goodness. At some point I had to start laughing because it was unbelievable. I was trying to tell him somebody's order is on the screen and it's still there. So hopefully he got what I ordered. I had him read it back to me, but you never know. Anyway. Okay, anyway, now maybe I'll get to this. Watch them come out. I can't see where they are in it all. But watch them come out too fast. But anyway, so one of the things that, you know, I've heard people say before, I mean, I know in my life so far, this has been the case of what I've seen, and is that they don't change. The people who actually have the extreme behaviors, you know, that should be diagnosed, aren't diagnosed. I'm not going to diagnose them. I'm not that arrogant. And myself, you know, no. But they have the behaviors, and quite often it's a combination of these personality disorders, the behaviors, or you could say, you know, one of them has a lot of combinations there. But their behaviors are extreme. You know, their abusive behaviors. I never talk about physical violence, by the way. So, very seldom, if I do, I make sure I mention it. I'm talking about people who really can destroy a person's personality. Okay, now where was I? There are a lot of distractions. Now I have to actually get home in that traffic. My goodness. I actually did try to do my job today. And, no, it's too beautiful of a day. So that didn't happen. I tried. Anyway, tomorrow maybe. But anyway, where was I? You know, people, let me get back to this. Okay, I'm not responsible for how somebody reacts to something. You know, when somebody says something like this, you know, that they don't change. I've heard people say it. The people with the really bad, you know, the people who are very abusive, they don't change ever in their life. And that's what I'm saying. Some people would feel like that, you know, that their love is going to change somebody, or their determination, or their threats, like if it's a boss or something, is going to change the way the person does their job, or if it's a parent, or if it is, you know. But in my lifetime, I have never known anything to change, and I'm not saying I'm the one trying to change it, you know, to help somebody change it. No, you know, what I've seen, just personally what I've seen, and I have never known any of them to change momentarily. In fact, some of them, I have wondered if some of them, if I don't know this part of it, if maybe they're like somebody who's borderline. How, you know, people, well, any of them really, walk on eggshells, you know, that whole feeling of walking on eggshells, because at any moment they might go boom and have that Tasmanian devil kind of fit of rage. I used to always just call it fit of rage when I'd see people do it. You know, but for some reason, in my mind, when I was younger, it made me think that there's a combination of a personality disorder with bipolar, you know, being bipolar. And one of them was, when I was young, I knew a woman who was bipolar, and she didn't like taking her med. Okay, she and I had actually worked together and met one another on the job. We were the only two people in that part. Okay, now you on the road enough to that you can stop in front of somebody. Alrighty. But they pulled out in front of me. you couldn't see it. But this woman, you know, I was really young and I did not know much about that bipolar personality disorder. And still really don't. I mean, I knew from what I saw with her. That doesn't mean I know enough, you know. So anyway, somebody mentioned to me, an older woman at the time, I was really young, and I told her about my, you know, co-worker / friend, and she said, I think she has a personality disorder. Well, that was early on when I was a student, and I really didn't know much about personality disorders. But of course, you know, eventually, I think it kind of stuck in the back of my mind this way. And because of the one experience, even though I know it's not true. But sometimes their behaviors are just so, you know, erratic. Just, I don't know, I'm thinking about, rushing through my mind is the ones I know that were actually diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And the ones that behave very similar to those who were diagnosed, you see. And it is that whole thing of walking on eggshells, and you just never know when they're going to go boom. And it's difficult for some to, it's difficult even for me to say, this person is actually mentally disordered. It's not as like it's going to change. It's not like it's going to just suddenly stop. It's not like they can fix it. Just, you know, some think they can. There's all kinds of debates I've heard over the years. Can they? Can't they? Can they take a pill? Can they do this? Can this kind of therapy work or that kind? You know, it just depends on so many things. And I personally can't think that they can modify, but they can't really change, you know, permanently. It's still there. But that's my opinion. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. I taught at college and university, but I'm still going to say I'm not the expert. I'm not the, well, I'm kind of a voice of authority. Shouldn't downplay myself. You know, women my age were taught to do just that. And that's one of the things that was taught in school, that, you know, females, if they talk about their qualifications, their credentials, their, you know, what they have, whatever, you know, that makes it that they were more of a voice of authority, that they're called that's called bragging. But if a male does it, it's expected. It's expected because we need to know, is he the voice of authority? And then we listen to what he says. You see? I don't know if that has changed that much. Many things have changed for women, young women. For women these days. Especially young women. They can feel that of speaking up. But has it changed on how it's viewed? There was research done on this over all these decades. And I just don't know. I see some wanting to cower. Anyway, but the whole thing is, you know, like I say, some people might, I don't know, it may make them feel like that there's no hope. Well, what are you hoping for? You know, what is it that you hope that will do that? Now there's a magic pill that changes somebody who's mentally disordered. A lot of people wish that. A lot of people pray for that. A lot of people want that, but you might want to ask a professional, you know, the one that's licensed and legally practicing about that. Anyway, getting close to Christmas. And, you know, I haven't bought any Christmas presents. Actually, I have some. But, oh well. Anyway, happy holidays to everybody. Talk to you on another video. Bye.